15 years ago, and I'm on the call with my best friend. It's 2 a.m., and we're discussing which field we should choose to continue our studies. There were 2 options on the table: applied mathematics and cybersecurity. The discussion is heated because we are not sure about pros and cons for both options. It took us 4 hours at night to make a decision. And that night, I took a risk to enter a very technical field and a very male-dominating one. The choice which I made, and which I have never regretted, defined many more chapters of my business and private life. And today, I would like to share my story and some guiding principles which helped me to work in international companies, to run 10 cybersecurity audits in parallel, and recently joined a global cybersecurity program for cloud compliance. I hope to share it in a way which will support and inspire anybody who will recognize themselves in my story. So let me start with a challenge which I would like to tackle right away. According to recent statistics from IC Square, even now we have less than 25% of females in cybersecurity. It's a rate which is so low, according to any standard. So let's ask ourselves a couple of questions. If a woman decides to enter this field, will it be an easy choice for her? No. Will she need to prove herself and find her own place? Yes, it seems a story. And does it worth it? All the efforts and risks? Absolutely. So what does it take for a woman to build a successful career in cyber? Please hear my story and my personal recipe for success. And I would like to start with a very simple but broad statement which I still believe in. Life will never be easy. It will challenge you daily. The micro decisions each of us make every day will actually define what you will be able to achieve. And it all starts with inner stability and strong core. My favorite philosophy school, Stoicism, believed that a true strength comes from within. We should be able to understand and focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. In 2020, I was tested against this principle during COVID. The spring was so bright because I was waiting and counting days before receiving my dream offer from one of the leading Danish companies. And then pandemic started and the hiring freeze hit hard. My hiring manager called me to cancel the offer. And during that conversation, I almost dropped my phone because I had already built my all expectations and plans linked to relocation to Copenhagen. It took me 2 months to start over. But let me ask you, did I have a choice in this situation? No. Was it the end of the world? Also no. 70 rejections are recorded in my personal file. 70 times I heard no, although I met most of the technical and organizational requirements. And then a miracle happened. A random recruiter called me with a position here in Poland with relocation support. I almost rejected it at first because the details which he provided were too vague, and I thought it was a scam. But everything went really well, and here I am after 5 years, doing quite well and feeling successful. So the lessons I learned is very simple. Never give up after the first fail. Even after 60s or 70s, stay persistent and focused on what you would like to achieve. And of course, try new strategies. Let's move forward and talk about additional dimensions of a strong core foundation. And here I would like to highlight physical and intellectual capacity and resilience. Exercise regularly. It's really simple. But one interesting thought about developing your intellectual capacity. I recently read a study conducted by Dr. Anna Pinault about jazz pianists. She observed that when they play piano, they have an extremely well-connected parts of the frontal lobe. It's a key statement here, because this part of our brain is responsible for our cognitive abilities and for processing tons of information for decision making. My personal notice after I have been learning how to play piano for a year and a half is that not only the way I feel the music changed, but also how I feel other people's emotions. In business, it helps me to build a genuine connection, and it also helps me to feel when other people might be trying to manipulate me. A key statement here. You will never know your true potential until you choose something and put efforts in it. Consistency creates tangible results. Let's add a technology layer on top of this concept. And here I would like to touch a bit on AI topic. As many women, I really love accessories and beautiful jewelry. But sometimes you can find a piece which combines both beautiful design and incredible intelligence. And here is a simple example right on my finger. It's called Aura Ring, and I use it as my digital coach to track key health parameters on daily basis. I track sleep quality, stress level, and physical activities. I'm totally in love with some cumulative score, which is called resilience score. It helps me to track my daily healthy routines, like meditations, long walkings, and no screen time before bed. Aura Ring helps me immediately to notice if I start slacking and my performance and energy level drops. Well, overall debates about AI are quite heated because indeed there are a lot of risks and concerns about it. We are really able to find good products and applications to strengthen ourselves. Let's move on further and talk about environment where women are struggling and building their careers. And here I would like to quickly touch on two topics: imposter syndrome and society's expectations. When I personally decided to focus on my development and my career, I felt that the world was against this idea. I can't tell you how many times I received this classical advice, usually from men, that I should focus more on my family matters and supporting my wonderful partner. I still remember my initial career conversations and my manager's gaze, which was screaming at me, "Margot, why are you so ambitious? Why not to choose an easier path?" Indeed, why? Because I can't change my character. I don't want to fit outdated standards. Life is too short to meet these burdensome expectations from others. Yes, these situations really motivated me to learn different negotiation techniques and communication styles, to brush off negativity and stay focused on my goals and on my development. And a quick note about imposter syndrome. Unfortunately, women are more prone to it, and I still can't understand why we have this weakness in business world. 3 years ago, I declined an opportunity to interview for Chief Information Cybersecurity Officer simply because I thought I met only 60% of requirements. And I'm not alone, fortunately. The recent studies from Harvard Business Review suggested that young women under the age of 25 rated themselves 20% lower than the men of the same group. Self-evaluating rating come closer when women reach the age of 40. But before it, we see really huge gap, unfortunately. On the positive side, once I heard the feedback during my previous employment that I might not be technical enough to run a cloud security program, and it motivated me to learn new skills. I invested 6 months in different trainings and labs, and it paid off really well when later I joined Bayer. Still, sometimes we can't avoid stressful situations. When I feel that the storm is coming, I remind myself about two things. Whenever I'm serious about tackling the challenge, I always manage to deliver results. Support from people around me is crucial. When you are serious about delivering your work, when you are responsible and hardworking, there always will be people who will help you, who will guide you and inspire you. That's why here in Bayer I'm building, together with other ladies, women in STEM community. It's an essential place where women can extend their networks, exchange knowledge and skills. And let me be honest, we have less and less time to worry about ourselves and things like imposter syndrome because the world has been changing so fast. Now it's all about AI. Before AI, it was a blockchain, and before the blockchain, it was many other technologies. And in my point of view, success lies in ability to assess risks and say yes to opportunities, to make a leap of faith when you see you need to do it. I got an assignment recently to lead a cybersecurity team here in Bayer, and you can't imagine my initial hesitation. All types of thoughts flooded my mind, and my brain was literally screaming, Margot, it's too early. You aren't ready for this. A turning point came out from conversation with my leader, who told me something like this. When your profile was on the table, I knew that you were the right person to take this assignment. His confidence in my abilities gave me a boost I really needed. And it helped me to say yes to this risk and take this opportunity. Life once again proved to me that working with right people will help you to grow and make brave decisions when you need to do it. Because sometimes even strong and independent women need someone who will tell them that they will succeed. So once again, what does it take for a woman to build a successful career in cyber? A short recap. Build a strong core. Work on your intellectual, physical, and emotional capabilities. Fight imposter syndrome. Don't take society's expectations as your own. Make a leap of faith when life gives you a risky opportunity which you should really take. And please remember, only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go.